If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy. Download and subscribe at BeBullish.com.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi. Okay, now we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Margaret from Rochester, what's on your mind?
Governor, I'd like to know how you'd be handling this big snowstorm that's predicted.
Oh, Margaret, I've done it too many times. First, remember 2016, 28 inches of snow. So we've been Hurricane Irene, Superstorm Sandy, flooding from Lake Ontario, ice storms. We faced really serious situations. What I would be doing right now is, of course, you declare a state of emergency. You clear the roads of all but emergency vehicles. I actually had license plates for emergency workers, special license plates. They were called red plates, that you could only be out in an emergency if you had a red plate. Number two, I would be hiring private contractors, bringing in backhoes, dump trucks, and doing that now. One of the mistakes from the last storm was the mayor relied on the Department of Sanitation to clear the snow. Yeah, but if you rely on them to clear the snow, who's going to pick up the garbage? So you have to balance that. You need private contractors to help clear the snow. There are also individuals who you hire to shovel snow. He hired about 1,000 to shovel the snow. 2016, Bill de Blasio, who was a terrible mayor, in my opinion, he hired 3,000 people to shovel snow. And this mayor only hired 1,000. I would call on the state and say, I need more National Guard. The state sent 100 National Guard a couple of weeks ago in the storm. The state is sending 100 National Guard for this storm for all of downstate. So it's 100 National Guard, New York City, Long Island, Hudson Valley. 100 National Guard is a drop in the bucket. You have 10,000 National Guard. 2016, I called out 600 and then an additional several hundred. So I would call for more National Guard right now. I would call for equipment in parts of the state that are not getting hit as hard to send their equipment to New York City. In other words, we would shift equipment. Syracuse doesn't have it as bad. They send their equipment to New York City. Likewise, we had 7 feet of snow in Buffalo. 7 feet, believe it or not, was a record of all time. We sent New York City equipment up to Buffalo. So I would put out those calls now. I would be on the phone with Con Edison, and I would say, look, we're going to have power outages. We know it. You're going to have ice. The branches get heavy. The branch falls. It takes the wire down. Wire comes down. The power is out. Con Ed says, we're putting the wires up, but you have several days. They have something called mutual aid, where you call the power companies from the surrounding states that are not being hit. And they send their power crews up to New York to be on standby. So that's what I would be doing. More National Guard, hire more people, private contractors, so Department of Sanitation can do their job, but can also clean the garbage so we don't have a mess like we had last time.
Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our country has to offer, especially health care. Across every state, every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.